Hello, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to do some maintenance on the metalworking planer. There was one or two things I noticed when we were machining the drop links rate 2045, and I want to try and address them problems today. I'll bring you in a bit closer and I'll describe what the problems are. Alright, I'm going to start the machine up, but what I want you to watch is this belt. Watch its position on this pulley and watch its position on the drive pulley. That's the loose pulley. The one it's on now is a fast pulley. Okay? I want you to take note of that. Alright, here we go. Okay, did you see it? It's only fractionally on. It hasn't moved all the way across that way. Yeah, it's not driving full on the whole area of the circumference of that wheel, that pulley. So, what's the problem then? Well, what I've found is the lever mechanism on this side here. Let me show you. I'm just going to start it up so you can see. We're looking at this mechanism here in relation to this. See, it just runs over the top. That's the correct position there. That little catch there isn't deep enough. This one's okay, but that one isn't. So what we need to do is to extend that a little bit at the end. And what I've done is I've moved this, so it's just over that. And just reverse it. That's the correct position. So you can see it's probably about a 1/16 of an inch. Well, we probably need to go down about 1/8 of an inch to make sure that it strikes that. But one thing that did concern me was the actual speed which the machine is moving. Will it operate that, and will that change the belts over before this has gone past that point? Because if we can't go past that point, I don't want it to snap this off, break it off. There's only one way we're going to find out. This is an original one, it's cast iron. That's a new one that's been made, it's steel. Obviously that's a lot stronger. But anyway, we've got to do something with this. What I have done is I've replaced the spring in here, and I've recessed this piece here, this part, and put a new spring in. That was the original spring that was in. That isn't the spring that was in when the machine was first made. Somebody's put that in. It's just a piece of spring and they've cropped it off. That's not very good at all. Not very good at all. So I've put a new spring in there and I've recessed that. I might make a recessed cup for the top as well to guide and locate the spring. But anyway, what we need to do is take this off here and make a new catch. Alright, we've got the piece here. That's the little actuator. You can see that. It's got a step in it there. Don't know if you can see that or not. We're going to make a new one of them. But tap the pin out. It looks like it goes out that way. We'll make a new actuator for it. Okay. It's made from 1/2 inch by 5/16 steel. We've got plenty here. Some simple marking out here. We're going to mark for the radius on the end. There's no precision required on this. Okay. on. Right, and away. I don't need that. Right, I've just been measuring this little pin. It's actually 5 thousandths over, so it's 130 thousandths. I thought it'd be 1/8 of an inch, but it's 130 thousandths, which is pretty significant. I think I wonder is over the years, you know, has the pin been moving and worn the hole, and the last time it was perhaps repaired, someone's, well, if you're reaming out, you need 130 thousandths ream, or you'd have a drill, maybe a letter or a number drill, probably a number drill, won't it? Just open it up to the next size and make the pin to fit. That's probably what's happened. But anyway, we got 130 thousandths there, so. You know, machine's what, 1900, so 126 years old. You're going to get wear and tear in it. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to get a drill, which is 130 thousandths. I'll check in my Zeus book, find out what number drill it is. Well, believe it or not, I've actually got a 3.35mm drill, so we're going to use that. Okay, that'll do. Alright, let's take this out. Alright, I think that'll do. If you can see this or not. Let me just show you. There you go. Quite satisfactory for what it is. Right, just been looking at the block that holds a little lever here, the actuator. When I line them up, the back of the slot in here isn't allowing that to sit flush, which is what we want. Okay, it's sort of cocked over, and you probably can't see that. And when I examine the slot here, it's just rough cast. It's been cleaned out with a file, but it's not rough cast. We want that to sit down So it butts up against that casting there to take the thrust, but at the moment it's not. It's sort of cocked forward like that, which isn't very good at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean that slot out. We're just going to use a file for that. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this off to length, and I'm going to make this 1/8 of an inch longer than the original one. And that's what we'll start with. We'll go from there. If we find it's too short or too long or whatever, we'll do whatever we need to do to make it right. We're going to cut it off on the hacksaw, power hacksaw, and then we're going to file it to shape. Right, we've got the blank here. What we need to do is to put a chamfer on the bottom there. So it sort of resembles that. You can see that, can't you? So let's just make sure we got that the right way. I've already scribed the line on this. There's no accuracy with that. There we are, we've got the part made here. You can see it's just a little bit longer than the original one. See it there. Right, what we need to do is assemble this into the cast iron bracket that holds this actuator, and then we'll try it and see what it's like, eh? Alright, we've got the little actuator fitted. Then it butts up against that front face as well, which is important. So any of the thrust will be transferred through the face. There's a little bit less leverage on the bracket at part of the top here where the pivot is. So I'm happy with that. What we're going to do is put that on the machine, on the planer. We're going to set it up and let's see if we can get it running. Let's see how it performs. Alright, we've got the little bracket back on there. That's the actuator, clapping freely, that is. Right, what we're going to do is I've put it at slow speed on the machine. I want to see how it reacts with the lever here. Okay, let's just switch it on and see. Moving better anyway. Let's speed it up just a touch. Let's put it where we normally are. The lever is now moving all the way down. It's dropping all the way down where it should be. that's at the extent of its travel where it needs to be. That's a lot better. You'll also see as well the belt's moving further over now. There you go. See, that's better. You probably can't see very well, but we've got probably about a 1/16 of an inch end float in that shaft there. You can just see the shaft there, the gap. Can you see that? I don't know if you can from there. Might make a spacer to take some of that out. You can see this moving, can't you? Alright, that was a worthwhile job doing that. It's been something I've been meaning to do for a while, and it's been irritating me, knowing that the belt isn't going all the way across onto the drive pulley, onto the fixed pulley, so we're not getting a positive drive, which would account for some of the slippage that we sometimes get. But anyway, I'm pleased with that. Plane is back in operation now. It's now available for us if we want to use it for another project in the future, which we will be doing. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.